overwhelming to me. If you are not ready to exponentially grow your business and you're like, I just want to tiptoe through this thing, then this is not the series for you. Like, this week is not for you. But if you're like, Brandee, I'm so ready to be all in. Like, I want to go all in my business and I want to know how to bring the growth to my business, then this week we're talking all about the different strategies that you can use to really, really, really put some fire under your business, okay? Yesterday we talked about showing up where your clients are. So you can go back and watch yesterday's episode if you're like, what does that mean? So today we're talking about casting a vision and setting goals. This is the thing that has always been overwhelming to me. For so long, people would say, what's your 10-year goal? Or what's your 5-year goal? And I was like, dude, I do not know. Like, I do not know. I don't know. I'm just trying to get through tomorrow. Okay. And that's genuinely how I was. And to be honest, it's kind of still how I am. Like, I like to just kind of put one foot in front of the other and see where that path takes me. However, I have learned over the last 13 years that not having a vision of what you want to be the end result can really be challenging when you do start to find some success. So what I mean by that is, as you start to gain momentum in your business, as you start to find success, lots of opportunities come your way. And the challenge with that is that if you don't know where you're going or what your end goal is or your vision for the end, you can be taken off track really easily. You can say yes to everything and then all of a sudden you're like, where did my life go? And I say this from experience, okay? Because all I ever thought was like, I just want to be the biggest. I want to be the best. I don't necessarily care how I get there. And I don't say that in a way like I'm going to step on people. I just mean like I never really considered anything except I just want to be bigger and better. That's kind of what my goal was. The challenge with that is that we said yes to everything. And all of a sudden, I went from, wait a second, I always said when my kids were little that I worked so much then because I wanted to be super available to them when they are older. And that was always a goal of mine. But I never thought of that through the lens of my business. And so when we were saying yes to all these opportunities, great opportunities, there was nothing wrong with them. None of them were bad, but they weren't great for us because now our business had gotten so large and we hadn't put the structure in place yet to handle it. And so Ira and I were being pulled in so many different directions that I was like, I haven't even seen my kids in weeks because they were in school and then I'd be gone all weekend. And that's not what I signed up for. Like, that is not what I signed up for. And so when I really started thinking, I'm starting to see why it's so important to have a 10-year goal. I don't like to call it a 10-year goal because I do think that makes it sound like you need to be doing this by this time. And I don't think that that's necessarily the lens I like to look through it in. What I like to think about is, what do I want my life to look like in 10 years? What do I want it to look like in 20 years? Why did I start this business in the first place? Then you can start filtering all of the opportunities through, is this in line with my vision for where I want my life to be? So for me, when I started thinking about where do I want my life to be in 10 years, something that's really, really important to me is that in 10 years, I will have a college student and likely 2 students already through college, God willing. And so I want to be able to, at any time, my husband and I want to be able to pick up and go wherever our daughters are and their kids. If that, oh my gosh, that's so crazy to think about, but it's reality. I have to be able to think about that. I have to think if they move to New York, if they move to California, New Jersey, wherever they want to go, Texas, I want to be able at any time to go visit them, to have the financial resources to do that, and to be able to work from anywhere. When I continue saying yes to things that tie me here, that require me or Ira to be present for those things to work well, that's not in line with where I want our life to be. And so here I am missing out on more and more and more of their lives as teenagers because I've said yes to so many things that require my attention on site. And that's not in line with where I want to be. And so we've had to back out of those things, and your exit strategy doesn't have to be that you don't have the business anymore. It could just be, at what point do I stop working all the events? Or at what point do I start being the front-facing person for all of the clients? That's where you have to define success and to see where you want to go. And then from there, you can start backing up the goals, right? So now it's it's easier to set a 1-year goal. Well, what do I need to do this year to ensure that I'm on that path? What do I need to do in 3 years to ensure that I'm on that path? It makes it so much easier to set goals because you have an end in mind. And that's why I talk about a roadmap so often. A roadmap, you put your destination in Waze, you know where you're going, right? Waze is telling you, or you tell Waze, this is where I want to go. And then it backs up all the instructions from there. And the reason that that's so important, that's exactly how we need to design our businesses. What's your destination? What's your end goal? Why do you want to be there? What is it that is taking you to that place? And then from there, let's design the roadmap all the way back to your starting, to where you are now. And that way you don't get off at the wrong exits. You don't take wrong turns. You may veer off the road a little bit, but you're going to get right back on because you're like, that's not right. I need to get back on the path to where I want to go. Does that make sense? This is really important for exponential growth, you guys. I'm telling you, when you are just saying yes to everything and you don't exactly know where you're going, the problem is it takes you a lot longer to get to the end destination. And we want to do this with speed and ease. So following someone else's roadmap, having them help you lay out a roadmap can be so beneficial in helping you grow quickly, like get it all done, right? Like exponential. I want exponential growth. I don't want to tiptoe through it.